This could be one of the biggest videos I've ever recorded, and my intro is being delayed and postponed by my wife unwrapping bed covers in the background. You done? In a second. So welcome to today's video. In this video we're going to be recapping our European run, looking at the window transfers, looking at our youth intake, potentially a live com, but having a look through some things. So we start off our Champions League qualifying in the third qualifying round, and we came up against HJK of Finland. And we got 2-0 victory with Zadro getting both. Then in the second leg, they came back to Norway and we got a 2-2 draw with Zadro again and Janti on the score sheet. So that saw us go through to the playoff round. Now in the playoff round, we will come up against Benfica, a very, very good European side now. And Guttles again too, and Zadro on the score sheet. So a 3-3 away from home. A fantastic result. It just meant we had to go back to Norway and get a result. Now unfortunately we didn't do it, and we lost the game 3-1, which saw us go out 6-4 in aggregate, which would see us drop into the Europa League group stage. So the first game in the Europa League group stage was against Lazio, and they got a 3-0 victory. Not the best start. Before we then came up against Utrecht and got a 0-0 draw, so 1 point from the first two games. We then played Fenerbahce and got a winning 3 points on the board. Alaman with 2 and Guttles on the score sheet. Alaman really does start coming into his own. We then played AEL Limassol, Alaman and Janti on the score sheet. That's 7 points from the first 5 games. We then played Sturm Graz in Austria and put 5 past them. Guttles, Alaman, Anderson, an own goal, and then Sauer on the score sheet. Absolute demolition, and at this point we are looking like a very good side in the Europa League. So we ended the year and went into the winter transfer window with a 1-1 draw at home to Stuttgart. Now over the winter period, the transfer window is not going to take long to recap. So first off, quite sadly, but Leif Treiter Arnesen has left us. Obviously after being at Egerson, then coming to Lillestrøm to join us there, he's now gone off to Cordoba. Quite disappointing, but he wanted to move on, and we had some depth in that position, so we did let him go. 1.9 million there. And also Mohammed went to Porto for 1 million. He was never going to feature, and it was nice to get some money in because we had been signing a lot of people. The only player I've signed is Jorge Luis. He cost 210k, and he's just going to play an LB team and see what happens. So back to our European run, a 2-2 draw away to Celtic with Alaman on the score sheet again. Both was our first game after Christmas. Followed up with a 0-0 against Real Sociedad, saw us go into the knockout rounds. In the knockout rounds, we came up against Fenerbahce and a 3-0 victory away from home with Alaman, Guttelsrud and Kodra on the score sheet. Pretty much guaranteed us qualification for the next round. Just in case, we made it 7-0 on aggregate with Alaman, Anderson, Guttelsrod and Jäger on the score sheet. 4-0 at home, 7-0 on aggregate. That saw us get Stuttgart in the round of 16 and a 1-0 victory with a 91st minute winner in the first leg. Saw us then head over to Germany and get a 3-2 win with Alaman getting 2, Zandra on the score sheet as well. We into the quarterfinals. And it was not a nice start to the quarterfinals with the 2-1 defeat in the first leg. Not very nice. In case you're wondering, the team we're playing is called Nice. That's called Nice, but you know. So in the second leg, we then won the game 2-1. The game went to penalties and we went through on penalties. They missed one, we scored all of ours, but that saw us into the semi-finals where we would play Lazio. And we got a 3-2 victory. At home, they had to travel away from home first, but that did give them the home draw for the second leg. With Zadro getting 2 and Alaman on the score sheet. 3-2, home leg, away leg to come. But don't worry, the away leg is not the live com. We got a 3-2 victory away from home with Zadro getting both. Henriksen on the score sheet as well, 6-4 in aggregate, which means that today we are coming up against Wolverhampton Wanderers in the final of the Europa League. Now, we've won the Champions League. We've actually already taken Lillestrøm 2 years ago to the final of the Europa League, losing it. Can we do it this season? So we're going to be coming up against Wolverhampton Wanderers in this final. And our squad is at full strength, no injuries. So we're going Lyngstad in goal, Hansen, Jäger and Sundre, Janti and Andersen, Kodde, Niemeyer, Zandro, Gutelsrud and Allemann. Now Allemann has actually been capped by Germany now. So not only have we picked up a wonder kid, not only has he scored 13 and 16 in the Europa League, not only did he only cost us 1.9 million, but he's now being capped by Germany. So our squad is looking very, very good, very decent, and I've got to say, if we can hold on to him for another year, I'd be shocked. So let's pump fists. The fans deserve a trophy. We're going to go with that. I'm not discussing the other manager. That's all they had. One question. It was about the other manager. So we are designated as the away team today. So here we go. Wolves are in red. We are in yellow. We do win the head of it. They get it second time. Along the Boyle, who did play for us at Eggerson's. Chitty comes forward. The Corra, but we win it back by Zadro. Zadro drives forward. Still driving. Whips it back post. Allemann with the header, but it over the bar. Nothing comes of that. Gave an encouragement shout. Obviously, shouts for FM25 are going to be taken away, which is a bit upsetting, a bit frustrating. Wolves now on the attack. Down the right hand side, Mohammed goes back, but we do intercept it. Gutelsrud, captain of the club. Forward to Allemann. He goes forward to Zadro. Zadro now, driving forward on the left hand side. Cuts inside the box. Oh, what? Oh, Dragustin. Zadro makes it Wolves 0, Lillestrøm 1, and we are 1-0 up in the final of the Europa League. Oh, come on. They're playing a 4-4-2 as well, by the way. With our wing-back tactic, we will overpower them in the middle, hopefully. Well, in theory. Here we go back to the goalkeeper. Goes out wide to Hansen. Forward to Kodre. Back to Jäger. To Kodre. He goes over the top down left hand side to Andersen. Good first touch. Good second touch. Whips it in. Out. Oh my god, we 2-0 up. Leon Allemann. I'm so shocked I started coughing my guts up. The goal kick for them. We are winning this game 2-0 at the minute. Chitty Drive comes forward. Plays it forward. They go forward again. Goes back to the left back. He goes inside. Central mid to Chitty. Goes back to Lee Sunbeam. To Boyle. Can't believe Boyle is still there. When I sold him, I put a 50% of next sale on. He's been there about 10 years now. Okay, Allemann. Driving forward. Goes out wide to Andersen. Forward to Gutelsrud. No, it's blocked. Come on. Vanson drives forward. Tackled by Niemeyer. Mohammed. Forward. It's 2-1. Come on. 42nd minute. Wolves 1, Lillestrøm 2. Come on. We're looking okay. We are looking okay. Wolves 1, Lillestrøm 2. We're halfway there. How are we looking? Niemeyer on a yellow, so I'm going to bring on Main Seth for the second half. Obviously was with us at Eggerson's as well. Main Seth. Very good player. Come on. Wolves 1, Lillestrøm 2. Here we go. Right, Gutelsrud goes back to Jäger. Playing a central midfielder in central defence. He's retrained there as that stop and ball midfielder. Allemann. Oh, good save by their goalkeeper. Struggling with, he must have had a knock or something because his fitness is right down. He is our corner take and our free kick take. He's not that tall, so I don't mind him being out there for these. Janti. Retrained from striker to right back. Goes down the line to Allemann. Bad ball. It's a bad ball. I'm going to fire us up. Fire us up for the second half. Make sure we're not sleeping. Come on. Oh my day. Come on. 65th minute. Just give an encouragement shout now. Got to enjoy the shout since we can't use them next year. Looking at the players we have. We do have Henriksen who can come on a right wing back. Janti is nervous. Oh, we're going to bring on our academy player Henriksen, who is a very, very good right wing back. I do have faith he could develop at some club in Norway really well, if not ours. Oh my god. Anders Sunde. That's one of them highlights where you just assume it's going over the bar. Let's watch this replay back. So to go, it's a corner strike from Condra. Goes back post. Sunde floats the header over. How was that gone in? Wolverhampton 1, Lillestrøm 3, with 15 minutes to go. I'm gonna shout to tell us to focus now with 10 minutes to go. Right, Anderson, one of the 2 players we had in the top 50 Wonder Kids, was Anderson, our academy player left back. Oh my god, we got a penalty. What are we doing? We are absolutely smashing them in the final. We are going to be European champions with Lillestrøm. We are going to be winning the Europa League. We've won the Champions League with Egerson. The Europa League is coming home with Lillestrøm here. Oh my days. Oh, he tucks it. He doesn't miss them. He doesn't miss them. Since we signed him, he's an absolute penalty machine. Wolves 1, Lillestrøm 4. Come on. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, I think I'm going to look to bring on some academy players. Just to give them the chance to be lifted and stuff. So, Kodra's going to come off. I'm going to bring on Martinique. I think Ederson's going to come on in that ball playing stopper position. Sorum coming on in goal. And I think Quali, who's just been so... We can't make any more. He's been so patient though. He signed a new deal as well. I mean, it's going to make the end of this episode even more interesting just because of what I've got planned. Come on. We're going to be lifting the trophy. Here we go. After 2 years ago, finishing runners up. After leaving Egerson and having 3/4 of this team unable to be registered in the league. After winning 2 league titles, we are now Europa League winners. Come on. What a trophy to win. Oh my days. Oh, get in there. Wolves 1, Lillestrøm 4. We have lifted the Europa League. L'Oreal, Lille, Man United, so French have won it 2 years in a row. But now we have done it. We have done it. I mean, let me just check. Club Vision. Still very disappointed. We're about 5 academy players in the squad. There's something wrong with this club when it comes to that. Look, B and B minus. We've just won the Europa League. We've just won the Europa League, man. Be nice to me. Can't believe we won that. The only thing I want to check is when is Champions League final. The Champions League final is on 28th, so we're going to jump forward ahead of that, and then we can have a look at the coefficients, etc., and have a look at how other teams in Europe did. But we are European champions with Lillestrøm. Okay, so as Newcastle have just won the Champions League, we can now just skip for one day, and we can have a look at our coefficient points, etc. In fact, actually, no, that's not how we're going to do that, is that? We are going to look at how the other teams in Norway did in Europe first. Come on, I'm flustered. I'm flustered. We're European champions. The first off was Vålerenga, who have played in the Europa Conference League. And they started off against Mustang, got 2-0 victory at home, 1-0 away. They then came against Basel in the final qualifying round, and they did get through. Basel, one of the big sides, I would say. A 2-1 victory at home and a 1-1 away. Now in the group stage, it looks very up and down, very yo-yo. Velja got victory before losing to Saint Etienne. They then beat Apoel before losing to Empoli. They then beat the New Saints before losing to Rapid Wien. They then did qualify for the playoff round where they knocked out Icelandic Valur 2-1 away and a draw at home, before unfortunately Swedish club Malmö knocked them out in the round of 16, a 2-2 at home before losing 2-1 away from home. So the first club we've checked got to the round of 16. The next club we're going to look at is Egersons, who qualified directly for the Europa League group stage. Doesn't look good. So HJK defeat before drawing to Legia. They then lost to Nice before beating Excelsior, drawing to Excelsior, losing to Sporting before beating Olympiacos. That's 5 points before Christmas. That doesn't make sense. It's that way. After Christmas they won back-to-back, beating Antwerp 2-0 and Dynamo Kyiv 4-0. That saw them go into the playoff round where they played Stabæk of Norway. So 2 Norwegian clubs in the playoff round, and they beat them 2-1 at home before losing 2-0 away. So I guess the next club we're going to be checking is Stabæk. So Stabæk, I'm going to shock you here and tell you they qualified. So Vitoria, 3-1 victory away before drawing at home. They then played Osijek from Croatia and got 2-1 away before beating them 2-0 at home. Now in the group stage, they beat Limassol before losing to Wolfsburg. They beat Brøndby, lost to Lazio. They beat Maccabi Haifa and Norwich. Now after Christmas, they ended with a defeat to Wolves and beaten Dinamo Zagreb. Now in the playoff round then, they knocked out Egerson, which we've looked at. They then knocked out Valencia 4-0 at home before losing 2-0 away, which saw them go to the quarter-finals of the Europa League, where they went out to Wolves, who we ended up beating in the final. 3-0 at home before losing 4-2 away, so quarter-finals of the Europa League for them. So the final team to look at was Werder Glimt, who were playing in the Champions League. And there's potential. A 2-0 victory on the opening against Hamby, 1-0, before drawing 2-0 with Lille. Then a draw at home to Real Madrid, before losing to Real Betis, Salzburg and Napoli. I guess they probably needed maybe a win after Christmas. They didn't get it. Defeats to West Ham and Manchester City saw them go out in the group stage. So, how are we looking? So we are here. We've got a 17.6 season, exactly the same as the year before, which is nice. 2 very good seasons, a lot better than teams around us, nations around us. So we started on 68.2, 69.5 for Portugal. We have now overtaken Portugal by 6 points. And we are also, 8 points clear of Denmark and miles clear. 17 points clear of Sweden. So we are by far the best team in Scandinavia. And we are now closing in. We are only going to be 3 points behind the Netherlands. So we are closing in on Netherlands, and they are losing 2 very good seasons coming up, which both of them were better than us. So if we can have another successful year as a nation, there's a chance in the next couple of years we can catch the Netherlands. And before we look at the rest of the things, I do want to look at the intake because we need to talk. So first off, we had Andreas Nybergen, and he looks decent. Really, really talented. A lot better than the quality we were bringing in. Really pleased with him. And Vega Hansen coming in as well looks a very solid central defender. And after last year's intake, adding this quality again is fantastic. We got Erdegaard, who comes in central mid. Again, is really decent. And we have Steenfeldt comes in, who is a striker who I think has some potential. Casual personality I don't like. Then we have Vestgaard, who is a central defender again, who has potential as a no-nonsense. He really does. We got some good quality players in again. I've got to say, we've looked decent. So I wanted to look at how our league campaign has gone so far. And in amongst our European run, we had to rest some players. In amongst our striving for European title, which has ended in success, we've had a poor start. So victory over Rosenborg for defeat to Viking. Victory over Solna before a defeat Egerson, and then 3 draws in the last 4. Sogndal draw, Ullkista draw, Werder Glimt, and a victory over HamKam. These are currently sitting in 7th place after 8 games, won 3, drew 3, lost 2. At 12 points, we're 8 points off top. We are 8 points off top, and we don't look amazing at the minute. Now, I do think with some of our players, especially Aleman, for example, who is just, he does want to leave. but he does have another 4 years left in his contract, so sorry mate, but you're not going anywhere. But we've pieced together a good squad. Now, the issue with this squad I've pieced together is I don't enjoy it. I'm not enjoying the squad players, the team I've put together. Now, we've signed some very good players recently. We've got some good players coming through the intake. We've signed quite a few good players, but I don't know. Maybe it's the club. I don't know. But I honestly think us winning the European Cup could be my final act as manager of Lillestrøm. Now I know some people are going to watch this and say, no, don't leave, stick, you're building something with this club, you saw what the AI did with Egerson, etc. And I get that. But sometimes you've got to make a decision on what's the best thing to do for the last couple of months of a journey. So I do want to give you that heads up, that brace yourself. In the next video, we could be stepping away from this club. Brace yourself. I've been Paul, also known as Northman, and I'll see you next time.